let's talk Kansas Speedway because as most people know, next weekend's the big weekend out at Kansas Speedway, and who better to talk about it than the president of Kansas Speedway, Pat Warren, joins us now. Pat, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Well, we're doing well, and
weather looks good next week, Pat.
Are you getting any sleep gearing up for the big weekend?
I'm trying. I'm trying. I hurt my back putting in yard signs for my wife who's running for office last weekend. So I'm waking up a lot because I feel like an old man. But, yeah, I'm trying to get some rest before the weekend.
Pat, now, not to get too personal, but when it comes to a few weeks out of the event, just how many hours you pick up in a week? I'm sure it picks up a little bit when it comes to, you do your standard 40 or 50 or whatever you normally do. But I could imagine it probably picks up quite a bit when it comes down to race time, doesn't it?
It does. I'll tell you, though, it's harder. Frankly, we've got a great team, and I think it's our ops team that really puts in the hours. And it's going to be even harder for them with the rain we've had because some of the things that we normally do, painting the track, painting lines on the track, those kind of things, this sort of hit during the prime time for that. And so I wouldn't be surprised if we've got the lights on some nights this week when it's dry, trying to get work done that we should have gotten done in the last week or two.
Don't you think, Pat, this is the most difficult round out of all the rounds? You think about it, Roval, Talladega. And let's be fair, I think if you were to take a poll of the drivers down in the pits, they will tell you typically year in and year out, Kansas Speedway is one of those wild card races. It seems that something crazy happens at that race every year out at Kansas Speedway, and I think that has a lot to do, again, with the surface of the track, how wide it is, how many grooves they have, how hard they can race each other. But isn't this wouldn't you say this is the toughest round when you figure in the Roval, Talladega, and Kansas Speedway?
It might be. I mean, it's certainly the best round because it ends at Kansas. I mean,
right. I like that. That's good.
So, all due respect to Charlotte and Phoenix, but we're clearly the best round. So, but no, I think the drivers, as the track has aged and the aggregate has come to the surface, they will tell you that the tire wear and the tire Goodyear's bringing allow them to create great racing. And it really is sort of three things. It's the track itself, it's the setup for the teams, and it's the tire that Goodyear brings that allows the racing to be great. And all three of those things have to come together. It's sort of symbolic of our sport that, again, it's track ownership, it's NASCAR with the tire, and it's the teams that combine to make a great race.
Yeah, talking to a few of these drivers that were here for the test here a couple of weeks ago, there's going to be a lot of racing up around next to the wall. That's going to make it really exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, Kurt, when we designed the track, it's actually the fastest way around the track, if the cars are set up correctly, is the top lane. And that's counterintuitive because it's also the furthest distance around the track, of course, being on the outside. But a car that's set up correctly will run the fastest laps at Kansas Speedway if it can run at the top.
Yeah. And there's nothing better than watching them all rip around the top up there. Listen, if they're gonna use one line, give me the top any day of the week. Because even in Cup racing, we've seen it. I hate to use the word slide jobs, but I call them car drifts instead of slide jobs in NASCAR. But that when they're running up at the top, you're going to see a little bit more of that. So
we got 3 nights, 3 days of activity out there. We got Cup qualifying late in the afternoon on Friday, the ARCA race on Friday night, and that's the final race of the year. And then Saturday, the Kansas Lottery 300 Xfinity Series race. Sunday, the Hollywood Casino 400. You already touched on some of the ancillary activities that'll be going on that weekend. Anything else that race fans need to be aware of as we approach the big weekend?
So we've got an autograph session on Saturday morning for the Xfinity drivers. It's pretty early. It's about 9 o'clock down in Fan Walk, which will be a lot of fun. And then there's just things going on throughout the weekend.
5 minutes.
Clint Boyer's going to do an appearance in the display at 10 a.m. on Sunday morning. We've got practice all day Friday, things going on. With 3 series in town, there's almost not enough time on the racetrack. And so that'll really help. Cole Custer is going to do an appearance in the Midway on Saturday afternoon, a little bit afternoon. And you're just going to see things going on all weekend. It's going to be really exciting. Hollywood Casino is doing a huge event. They call it an Icon Weekend. So a lot of their guests will be in. That's not something the public will necessarily see, but it's something we're very focused on because obviously they're a huge partner of ours, and we want to show their guests a great time.
Yeah. Well, Pat, thanks for taking the time with us here on Track Talk. We so appreciate it, and we're looking forward to next weekend. Can't wait for it to get here, and I'm sure it's going to be exciting as it always is at Kansas Speedway. And there's still tickets available, correct?
There are still tickets available, 866-460-RACE. You can come out and try out our new drink rails. It's like sitting in a suite outside. People love it. And we look forward to seeing everybody next weekend.
And you got to be happy they moved that Chiefs game to the night, so maybe you get all Chiefs fans to go to both of them.
That really worked. That really worked out well, didn't it?
That did work out well, and I was joking with a friend of mine over at the Chiefs that we appreciated them fixing the schedule conflict.
Right.
So, obviously neither of us had anything to do with it. It was a TV decision, but it worked out well.
Well, Pat, thanks again. We appreciate it. We'll see you next week out at Kansas. All right.
I look forward to it.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, Pat.
Again,
Thanks,
8 days, 4 hours, 5 minutes, and 44 seconds, Kurt.
It's coming quick.
Till the Hollywood Casino 400.